Hi, guys, and welcome back to the Picks and Parlays live cap. I'm your host, Allie Burns, and with me, as always, is Nick Parsons from the Insiders Room. Nick, how's it going over there, man?
It is going fantastic. I'm glad to be back. We gave out a few winners there last time. We went opposite a couple of times on that Wednesday show, so we can review what happened to who, etc. I knew that your Bengals there, they came from behind, and they managed to get that backdoor cover, so you got to be pretty happy about that.
Do love Joe Burrows and the Miami Heat. I told you I'm higher on the Heat than I am the Celtics, and they just keep winning.
Exactly, you did. You chose that one there, and I gave out the under in that particular game, so we went 2-0 on that one.
Yep, nailed it.
Yes, and so I concede. You got me there with the Bengals. My paid play on that one, though, or my premium selection was on the over, and so I hit that one, and so I moved to 6-1 now with my premium NFL selection here at Picks and Parlays. Yeah,
nice. That's a beautiful thing. Yes. Oh, we already have commenters in our chat room. That's killer. Hi, commenters.
All right, well, let me get caught up on that part because I'm a little bit behind you here.
Well, I'll tell you guys what's going on at home while Nick does that. So we promised you guys a football Friday, and we're going to deliver on that promise. So we've got 2 college football games, and then I'm going to go through just like a quick rapid fire of 5 other quick college games, and then we'll move into the NFL. We're going to talk Falcons and Cowboys. Falcons and Cowboys and the Broncos and the Steelers. So we've got a lot of picks. You might want to go get a pen and a paper because a lot of stuff's going to happen right now. And then don't forget, we've always got free picks for all of these games up on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. Just search for us at Picks and Parlays. We're everywhere on the web. We're not hard to find at all. We like to keep it simple. So like I said, we've only got like a 30-minute show. Let's get things rolling along.
Let's get into it. Let's get into the picks for sure.
Okay.
More winners.
Yes, more. And by the way, just real quick, you were totally right about taking the Cubs. I did fade Leicester first 5. That ended up pushing. The Cubs cashed the game, and our beautiful fans nailed the under on that. So all of us got that one right, y'all. That was a collective game.
Yeah, we worked through that one perfectly for sure.
Okay, so back to college ball.
Okay.
We got a request for the Louisiana Tech and Southern Mississippi game to break that one down. They're getting the points, and a lot of people really like LA Tech getting the points. It's 5.5, and the total is at 58.5. What are your initial thoughts here?
Well, I actually have a play on this game on the side, so I'll steer clear of that one. Okay. But yeah, I mean, Southern Miss was a 14-point favorite last week and lost 35-21 to South Alabama. And now they face Louisiana Tech that had a 10-win season last year. And Louisiana Tech did not play last week because of a COVID issue, but they're cleared to go this week. So the main change for Louisiana Tech, though, is that Jamar Smith is gone, their quarterback, their starting quarterback. So Aaron Allen is in. Allen, though, in his limited time, he was decent last year. He had 446 yards passing. He was 43 of 75. He had 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. I mean, that's just a small sample size, but still, it was a positive one.
It ain't bad,
for sure. So Louisiana Tech, it was 8-5 against the spread last season. The over/under was 6-7. So that's a major change at quarterback. Obviously, that's the biggest change you can make. However, the rest of this team is almost basically intact on both sides of the ball. So that's something to keep in mind if you're going to wager on the side in this one. Now, the Golden Eagles, they lost that game, and after that game, they lost their head coach. Jay Hobson, he had been the head coach there for 10 seasons. And so he stepped down after that, and his offensive coordinator, Scotty Walden, he's going to step in as the interim coach. Now, lots of times a coaching change in whatever sport is a good thing. It can help a team. However, after the first game of the year, it just doesn't. There's just not a lot of confidence there. Where you have a 10-year coach, and then after one bad game at the beginning of the year, after a horrible season last year, though too, you step down. And so the Golden Eagles, I mean, of course, they're going to be hungry here. They got embarrassed last week as the big favorite. Jake Abram, he was a lone bright spot. He completed 70% of his passes for 314 yards, but he had no interceptions, but he also had no touchdowns. And the running game, it was pretty pathetic. Frank Gore Jr., they averaged just 2.6 yards per carry. So anyways, long story short, and here, I think I like the over in this particular game. Yeah, this is interesting because actually the game opened. Yeah, it's over 58. I see here, but yeah, Louisiana Tech had averaged 32 points per game last year. South Alabama just scored 32 points on Southern Miss in the opener, and I think the Bulldogs are significantly better than the Jaguars. In last season's game, these teams scored 75 points. They combined for 75 points. Because Louisiana Tech destroyed Southern Miss 45-30 last year.
Right.
And so I don't think they're going to get 75 points, but I do think they're going to easily eclipse this number. I think that, Louisiana Tech is going to have its way here, and both teams are just going to be airing the ball out early and often. But what about you, Allie? What are you thinking?
I'm going the other way. I like it to go under. I know that everybody really likes La Tech getting the points. That's kind of why I don't want to be on that side. But according to my power ratings, and the total is 58.5, it's kind of ticking down. Phil still has it 31-28 La Tech. That's 59 points. The Massey ratings have 26-24 La Tech. That's 50 points. The Bleacher Report has 27-22 Southern Miss. That's 49 points. So all three of the power ratings pretty much say it's going to go under. So that's just the way that I capped this game. That's how I felt about it. I know Craig Trapp agreed with me in the pick that we did yesterday. So we're going to have to go head to head on this one. You're an over and I'm an under. It happens.
Okay, well, that makes it more interesting for sure, because then we can talk about that. We don't always have to agree on everything, of course. Right. And so you made some good points there. But yeah, I just think that Louisiana Tech, it's just chomping at the bit to get out here after not being able to play last week and against this weak Southern Miss secondary and defense. So that's my call. So I guess we agree to disagree, as we do sometimes on this particular one. And
I do like La Tech with the points. Like, I wouldn't get mad at anyone for taking La Tech with the points. I think that's the side to be on. But, they haven't played yet. We'll see what happens. They still got to play the game. Okay, so let's move on to our next one. This is a big matchup. There's already been a ton of action on it. It's number 17, Miami, and number 18, Louisville. I have to be honest, Miami is not my favorite team this year because I went to the University of Houston and they took our quarterback, Derek King. So not super stoked about that. But with that in mind, I am a huge fan of Derek King. So I'm kind of backing the Miami Hurricanes here.
So am I. So we're on the same one. I actually have a play on the total on this one over at Picks and Parlays. So I'll steer clear of the total. But yeah, no, I'm with you on Miami. But what's the reasoning for you behind on that one? And then I can give you a few points on mine.
Well, what were my points on Miami? They beat UAB last week 31-14 as a 15.5-point favorite. That went under the 55. Louisville beat Western Kentucky 35-21. Covering the 13 points. They went over the total of 55 by 1 point. But back to I'm just going to make a long and short of it. I like Miami on the money line. That's what I like. I like Miami on the money line. That's how I feel about that.
Well, last year the Hurricanes thrashed the Cardinals 52-27 at home. And yeah, as you mentioned, Miami enters off that 31-14 home win over the Blazers. The Hurricanes, though, they actually took the foot off the gas in the fourth quarter. They didn't get any fourth quarter points. They had the big lead. But still, they posted 495 yards of total offense, and they allowed 285. Cameron Harris, he had a big game for Miami. He finished with 134 yards on 17 carries with 2 touchdowns. And Derek King, as you mentioned, he's a dual threat quarterback, and he had a really decent game in his first start. He had 144 yards passing and a touchdown through the air, as well as running for an additional 83 yards and another major score on the ground.
Right.
Louisville, well, it smoked Western Kentucky 35-21. Mikhail Cunningham, he had 343 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Louisville offense, it looks good, but it's the defense which lacks, and I think that over the course of this game, that's going to eventually, be its downfall. And so I like Miami here as well.
I like it over too. I think it goes over. Like you said, bad defense, 2 good offenses. Phil still has it at 63. The Bleacher Report has it at 65. Massey ratings have it at 51. So 2 out of 3 of those say it's going to go over. 2 out of 3 also say Louisville wins, but does not cover. So just to put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Okay.
Yeah. But you're not going to talk about the total, right? Because that's your premium play. So go check out Nick Parsons' premium play on that total for Louisville and Miami.
We are, I'm actually coming off my 5th straight winning day there last night. And it's going well here since the sports restart. We're seeing the board well, continuing to see the board well, especially the NFL board. As I say, we were 6-1. In the first week, and then I had the over last night. So now officially 6-1 with my NFL picks over at Picks and Parlays.
Beautiful.
But we are looking forward to a nice Sunday of NFL action, and we're going to review a couple of games here, aren't we?
Yes. Real quick, just to finish up college football, I did a segment with Craig Trapp last night. It was our college football rapid fire. You guys can check it out on YouTube or Facebook or Picks and Parlays. But I'm just going to go through them real quick so you guys get a few more extra picks. We talked Houston at Baylor. Craig said take Houston plus the 4.5, drizzle a little bit on the over. I love that play. Real quick, any thoughts? Take Houston, take Baylor?
Baylor is going through a rebuilding process in its defense, so I like Craig's picks there for sure.
All right. For UCF and Georgia Tech, he says UCF, he double look on that hook, but -7.5 is the way to go. Their speed's really intense. Georgia Tech look good, but they're going to come back down to earth. Also, he thinks the over in UCF is a solid play. So take UCF and the over on that one. We talked Miami, Louisville. He liked them on the money line. Also, SMU at North Texas. I'm going to love watching this game. I love both of these teams and watching them play. Craig says it seems like a lot of road points. North Texas is getting 14. Said it's not going to be a pretty game, but take North Texas. Look for some late touchdowns. And he also liked the under 68.5 in that game. Any thoughts on that?
I haven't actually had a chance to look at that one closely enough.
Okay, no worries. Yeah. Okay, so Nick, I'm calling you up. You're going pro. You're going pro.
All right, now I'm ready to go.
Time for some NFL. So like I said, we're going to look at 2 games, the Falcons and the Cowboys, the Steelers, and the Broncos. So both of Falcons, Cowboys will go first. Both of these teams lost last week. And it was kind of a weird matchup because the Falcons went way over their total and then the Cowboys went way under their total. So a little bit confusing. The Falcons lost 38-25 to the Seahawks. They did not cover the +1. The total went way over 49 points. It went to 63. And the Cowboys lost 20-17 to the Rams. It was pretty much a pick'em game there, and the total went way under the 52. It ended up at 37. So what do you think?
Well, the total is 54 in this one. The Cowboys are a -4.5 point favorite.
Yeah.
Interesting to note that the total opened at 50 in this game, and Dallas was a 7.5 point favorite. So there's been line movement, obviously, and that's going to happen because they set these lines a month ago or whatever.
Well, everyone loves to bet the Cowboys, too. They're a big betting team, so
true.
Expect it.
Absolutely. Dallas is 0-1 after losing 20-17 to the Rams. Prescott was mediocre, I would say. He was 25 of 39. He had 266 yards and a touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, he had 22 carries, 96 yards and a touchdown. So that's decent.
Impressive. It's impressive, yeah.
And Amari Cooper, he looked decent as well. He had 81 yards, and even rookie CD Lamb, he had 59 yards in his debut. And as you mentioned, the Falcons are off a loss too. They lost 38-25, as you pointed out. But Matt Ryan, I mean, he was a bright spot on that team. He had 450 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception.
And he threw 54 passes. He was 37 for 54. Like, amazing. When I do my stats, you don't see, they don't throw that much. Most quarterbacks don't throw that much. Sorry, carry on.
Absolutely. I mean, this offensive unit's built around him. And so, they just let him do his thing. And it just in my next comment here, Julio Jones, Russell Cage, and Calvin Ridley, they each had 9 catches in the setback. So, I mean, he was dealing it around. Yeah. And even Todd Gurley, I mean, he did not have his best game whatsoever. He only had 56 yards on 14 carries, but he also managed to find the back of the end zone once.
Yeah.
But no matter how you cut it, as good as that Atlanta offense looked, that's as poor as the defense was. I mean, since the start of the 2019 season, the unit has given up 25 points per game. And that's bad news, I think, this week facing the hungry Cowboys team that's looking to bounce back from last week's poor offensive effort. So for this live cap pick show, I'm going to steer clear of the side. I don't have a play on this game, by the way. So, my strongest play on this one is the total. And I think that the over is the right way to go. I think these defenses are terrible. Atlanta ranked 24th and Dallas 28th last year. As I mentioned at the start, this total opened at 50. It's since moved up to 54, but I still don't think that's nearly high enough. I think this one has shootout written all over it. So that's my play on this particular one for our show, the over 54.
Well, I agree with you. So
all right. So
we got one. Yeah, we got one that we agree on. I like it over. Like we said, Matty Ice threw that ball 54 times. They're moving the ball. They're scoring points. I mean, no defense is no defense. And I completely agree. This game goes over. As a side, I lean towards the Cowboys. Okay. I think, they're at home. They're kind of under the gun right now. They didn't have the best season last season. Didn't have a great first game. And I think the Cowboys at home would be my play.
There was a controversial call at the end. They kind of messed up too. There was some controversial coaching calls there at the end by Dallas. So I would lean with you as well to Dallas as well to get it done at home. Yeah.
I mean, I know home field advantage isn't like the same thing, but I mean, there is a certain familiarity about playing in your own stadium and, winning one for the home team kind of a thing. All right. So we are talking the over for the Cowboys. So let's go to Broncos and the Steelers. Both of these teams played Monday night. They just didn't play each other. So I've got it opened at 44, Pitt -5, and now it's at 40.5, Pitt -7.5. So a lot of action on this game. Also, a lot of money coming in on Pitt, it looks like. The Broncos lost to the Titans 16-14, but they did cover that 3-point spread, and they went under the 42 points. Steelers beat the Giants 26-16. They covered their -6.5. I, full disclosure, was actually on the Giants there because I really wasn't sure how Ben was going to come out. And I knew that a lot of money was coming in, and I was just kind of being a little contrarian that, maybe something happens. Maybe he's not Ben. He is older. He's totally older. But no, 21 out of 32 completions, 229 yards, 3 touchdown passes. Juju Smith-Schuster caught 2 of those. I mean, I'm rolling with the Steelers here. That's just what I'm going to do. I'm not impressed by Drew Lock. I could care less about Drew Lock.
Yeah, no, he wasn't he wasn't overly impressive. He's a clock manager for sure. The Broncos aren't going to ask him to beat the world or anything. So I don't have a play on this one either. But for this one, I'm on the under. I like the under here. And you pointed out many of the different points that I was going to bring out. And just earlier in the last analysis there, you're talking about how this weird season, but then the players and the traveling during the coronavirus outbreak, it can't be easy. Combined with the fact that each of these teams is playing on the short week, it makes me lean heavily to the under in this one. So yeah, last week, as you pointed out, Locke, he wasn't super impressive or anything. He had 216 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. The Broncos were without wide receiver Cortland Sutton last week, and he's questionable this week as well. He was also without rookie wide receiver KJ Hamler, and he's listed as questionable here. Denver also lost Phillip Lindsay, their running back. Fortunately for them, though, they have Melvin Gordon as their backup, and he was really good last week in filling in. He had 78 yards and a touchdown. So clearly, we're going to see a whole bunch of Melvin Gordon today whenever Denver has the ball. And I mean, that just leaves Noah Fant and Jerry Jeudy to shoulder the load in the receiving department for Locke, and that's not going to scare the Steelers much at home, I don't think.
No.
No. I mean, the Steelers' offense was decent last week. Big Ben, he had, the 229 yards, but 3 touchdown passes. But one area of concern for Pittsburgh, it did lose 3 starting offensive linemen last week.
Yeah.
So, as you mentioned, Ben is older. He's not very mobile anyways, and so he could be under a lot more pressure. That leads to more of a running game as well from the home side. And in fact, that's going to even put more pressure on the Steelers' defense to pick up the slack. But last week, it looked great against the Giants. It won the turnover battle. It forced and recovered a fumble. It had 2 interceptions. I mean, last year, the Steelers led the entire league in interceptions with 54. So this is a unit that's already, it's carried over its momentum from last year on how it was performing from last season. So, yeah, I think that this one definitely sets up as a lower scoring under.
Yeah, I wish I could get rid of that hook, but it doesn't really bother me that much on the 7.5. But I also have in my notes that I like this to go under too. So we do agree on that. On that point, Steelers defense, Steelers at home, all these things. And I don't think that Ben is afraid to get hit. Like, he doesn't get squeamish and run away Brady does. Like, Ben,
Sure.
they call him that for a reason. That dude is a freaking tank. He's like a castle wall. Like, I dare you to run into me. Is how I feel Ben feels. Come and get me, baby. I don't think that. I mean, losing the lineman definitely is a problem, but I don't think it's the same problem that Drew Lock would have if he lost 3 offensive linemen.
Good call. Absolutely. Yeah. No, and he's used to these types of things over his career. I mean, yeah. And so he would be better able to manage a situation like that than Locke. No question about it. Yeah,
I think so. Should we check with our commenters, our viewers, see what they're saying about what, and share some knowledge?
Sure. What do you guys like? So Cody Dunbar likes the Cowboys. Cody Dunbar likes the Steelers.
Go Steelers.
And Rycape does not think the Vikings are going to cover this weekend.
All right.
Yeah. And over on Facebook, we only have a few people watching on Facebook today and not many people commenting there. But we have, more people on the YouTube channel there. And Rycape is saying he likes Atlanta. He likes Atlanta. And so let's quickly review our picks here. So we went opposite on which did we go up? So we both liked Miami, Florida.
Yes, we both like Miami. I like it on the money line.
Yeah.
We both liked go ahead.
I took the over in Louisiana Tech.
In La Tech. Yeah, so did I. Yeah. And I took that over also.
Okay.
What else did we do?
Steelers, Broncos. You took Steelers.
Under in the Steelers.
And the under.
And then Falcons, Cowboys. I took Cowboys and the over.
Right. And I took over as well. I like the over as well.
Beauteous. All right.
All right.
So next week when we're back, don't forget, guys, every Wednesday and Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Next week when we're back, we'll do baseball, a little hockey, check in with the NBA playoffs. Game 1 is tonight. Any thoughts on game 1 for the Lakers and the old Nuggets?
Well, just that I find it interesting that both of these teams in their previous series, they really struggled, especially the Lakers. They lost their first game in each of their first series, and Denver was also really slow to get out. Because they got down 3-1 each of the last two times, and so I do have official plays on this one as well over at Picks and Parlays. So I just find that part of it really interesting, that both of these teams have started slowly in their series, but come back really strong. And so, no, I'm just as interested as everyone else to see how this plays out, if the Lakers can take advantage or if the Nuggets really are for real.
Well, yeah, my problem with the Nuggets is that they really only seem to play super well when their backs are up against the wall, and it's going to take like 3 games for them to get to that point. But I do have like this running theory that when teams have like the Heat and the Lakers and the Clippers, they close out their series early and then they play someone who's gone to a game 7, and their first game back is like nothing for the team that's been playing the whole way through. Lakers lost game 1 to the Rockets. The Heat only scored 18 points in the first quarter in game 1, so that's kind of what I'm leaning on more here. And I'm going to take Denver plus the points.
Nice.
That's just what I'm going to do on that one. But Denver's another one of those teams that I just keep cashing on them. And so, like, if it ain't broke, why am I going to try to fix it? So
for sure, that and the Heat. I mean, the Heat are 10-1 straight up and against the spread so far in the playoffs.
I've been wrong about the Heat one time, and that 10-1 loss they had. I've been wrong about them one time. I think the Heat win it all. I know I'm going to get backlash from that. I don't care. I think the Heat win it all. They're insane. It's like my woman's intuition. Like, I can feel them playing. Like, I don't know.
Does seem like destiny, but I mean, what if it's King James versus Miami? That's going to be a cool storyline, I think.
Don't you think, I was going to say, don't you think that the world would like to see that? Like, I'm pretty sure NBA is a little bit crooked enough. They could arrange that for us. I mean, they would love to see that.
Might have been the plan from the start.
Yeah, there you have it. So keep riding those Heat. If that's the case, keep riding the Heat. And the thing with the Nuggets too is that when I look at basketball totals, I can't say this is going to be like a shootout or a blowout. I'm not sure, but I'm always looking for more than 2 possessions. Definitely more than 1 possession. I'm not doing any of that 2.5 crap. Like, it's got to be a 3.5 or higher for me to get on a basketball side, because 2 possessions is what a lot of games come down to, unless you just get blown out of the water, which can totally happen. So, but if I had to pick a side, I'll be on that. Well, I am picking a side, and it's the Nuggets, and I'll be on it.
Few people in chat are saying they like the Lakers.
Of course.
And
everyone does.
Saying the Nuggets have to be tired now. Another Valdez Morris, he's saying the Steelers defense played pretty tough. He likes that under now as well with us. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, I like it. It was a good show. I think we got a lot of picks out there.
We did.
A lot of picks. And I've told for our viewers at home, if you guys have, we film on Wednesday, we film on Friday. If you've got a game that you're looking at that happens on Wednesday or Friday, shoot us an email, shoot us a tweet. I'm at Plus Money Honey on Tuesday or on Thursday, and let us know. Give us a little time, and we can handicap it and feature it on the show and talk about it if that helps you guys out. And
that's a great idea.
I think it's great that they kind of all. You guys are all sharing picks as we're sharing picks. So we've got a real community forum. I hope everybody makes money this weekend. I had a great weekend last weekend. We talked about this.
It's been going great recently. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was 7-2 on Saturday, and I was 3-1. The Cowboys got me on Sunday. So,
very, very nice.
Yeah.
And I'm coming off my 5th straight winning day. So we're winning. We're giving out winning picks, and everybody's winning right now.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Stuff your wallets. Grow your bankrolls.
For sure.
Grow your bankrolls. All right, guys. Well, we will check you out on next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget, check out picksandparlays.net. Look for Nick Parsons. Buy his premium picks. He's doing really well. He's crushing it this week, or last week, I should say. Crushing it. So, go to Picks and Parlays. We've got, 30 other, if you don't like Nick, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but
so many talented, unbelievably talented handicappers. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a great group. It really is a great group. And it's fun because you guys are always kind of fighting for that top spot on the leaderboard, which just proves how good everyone really is. That's just it. And yeah, check out our leaderboards. Everything is documented. Everything is there for you to see. It's like total transparency as far as how our handicappers are going.
Exactly.
So we hope you go there, check it out. And like I said, we're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Yeah, hit us up. Let us know how we're doing. All right, Nick, that just about does
Allie.
it.
All right.
Okay,
Thanks,
guys, have a good one. We'll see you next time.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.